Hey everyone, so I just want to talk about this. So, as anyone can tell, there's two things in this world I hate: politics and fanatics. And boy, I came across one of these people this morning. So I came across someone who's like a heavy core fucking politician bullshit, whatever. And they were going around preaching that whole thing on TikTok right now about like how like Europeans did not know a lot until like they came to America or BS. Like, you know, that whole thing, like we didn't know how to farm, we didn't know how to hunt and everything. And I'm like, okay, whatever, people are idiots. But apparently I came across one of these people this morning who were all about supporting this white guilt bullshit. And I was like, okay, why do you want this morning? They're like, oh, we just want to talk about your white guilt out here in front of fucking Walmart's parking lot while I'm trying to get the fuck to work. And so they start trying to do this whole entire BS thing, right? Where they're like trying to say this alternate history that never existed. I'm like, okay, give me a second. And so I started going on my phone. They're like, what are you doing? Like, I prepared for these arguments. I'm getting my evidence ready to shut you down. So they're like, okay. Like, okay, go ahead, do it. I'm like, okay. Okay, what's your first thing? They want to say, like, Europeans didn't know how to hunt. I'm like, okay, here you go. And they're like, what's that? I went, you click that link. All those things that you see are all practically belief systems at the time in Europe that existed that were all about hunting, like hunter-gathering things, like Vikings, the Celts, some other stuff that are all about, like, you had to go hunt and feast for a god or some deity or some bullshit. So that shoots down the whole hunting thing. And they're like, I'm like, what's the next one you got for me? And they're like, oh, we help Native Americans taught you how to farm. I'm like, okay, give me a second. I'm like, here you go. They're like, what's that? Like, things that farmers grew back during the medieval times and hell, the past 3,000 years in Europe. The only thing Native Americans taught us how to fucking grow was corn. Because that wasn't accessible to us back then. And like, next thing, you guys, this whole thing about we drinked and bathed in water that had like these like viruses and bacteria and shit. I went, okay, here you go. They're like, what's that? The time frame where all this happened, but the discovery of those plagues and bacterias. Okay, shut that down. Next question. Europeans had a bunch of incest. Okay, I can't argue with that one. Next, Europeans were mostly cannibals. Here you go. What's that? That's a list of every African tribe, past, present, and future, from the past and present, maybe the future, that are all known cannibals. Next question. They were so freaking pissed at me. They're like, why do you have so much information? I'm like, because the problem is, you're not going to tell me to suffer from guilt when you're not properly informed. Your master told you to say this. I have no master. Therefore, I can say whatever the fuck I want. If you're offended, that's you. Yeah, needless to say, they walked away after they realized that they can't do anything. And they did threaten to fight me, but I told them, like, look, you're going to be dead before you even try it. So, but yeah, hope you all have a nice day.